Hi, I'm Michelle Donegan with Mobile Europe. I'm here at the Network Now event with Nik Angelov, who is Head of Product Strategy at WIM Technologies. Hello, Nik.
Hello, Michelle.
Thanks for being here today.
I'm glad to be here.
I wanted to ask you a few questions about automation in the radio access network, which I think is a big area for WIM Technologies. Why is this so important?
RAN automation traditionally is a very challenging area of all the other areas on a mobile network to automate. For that reason, it's received quite a low attention from operators. The reason for this is that the radio network is inherently more complex. There's a lot more nodes. There's different vendors, different technologies, and this makes it much more difficult to automate from doing a truly closed loop or zero touch perspective. So usually mobile operators start with easier areas like transport, core, or the business areas, and those have a pretty high level of automation, but not the RAN. We at WIM Technologies like a challenge, and we also want to really help operators and the whole industry in that area, because we truly see that there's a need for more OSS solutions for RAN automation, and operators need those as well to be able to increase the level of closed loop automation on their RAN systems.
And so within the area of RAN automation, which part is the most challenging for operators at the moment, would you say?
So I would say this would be the area of radio design, radio parameter design, its governance, application, and optimization, especially on the proactive side of radio design. And the reason this is the most challenging is because that's where the high level of complexity is. So there's 1,000 different parameters for a specific RAN vendor, specific technology, and that gets multiplied. The more technologies you have, the more RAN vendors you have. And at the same time, it's not really a very exciting, it's not very glamorous area to automate. So for managers to start looking into it, they have to get their hands dirty. But at the same time, this area is very highly related to network churn. It's one of the biggest causes of network churn, and I'll give an example. So networks are at the moment very much involved in deployment activities, introducing new features, new technologies. Networks have become actually quite complicated, with having a lot more features being rolled out on a yearly basis, such as carrier aggregation, dynamic spectrum sharing, massive MIMO. Operators are also swapping vendors due to government regulations, or to refresh their kit, and all of this is causing a lot of different disruption, a lot of different design that needs to be considered and applied. And when something small is misaligned, that affects the customer experience. The customer is not going to necessarily complain with it. That's going to contribute to bad customer service, then bad impression, bad perception of the brand, and eventually that will cause churn. Very different to other areas, as, for example, transport, where there's very little things that can go wrong, and if they go wrong, they're immediately picked up, or the customer is going to complain directly because the service will be completely off. So as a result, it's challenging because it's underserved and not addressed properly for all these type of reasons. But it's the high level of complexity that really poses the challenge, and operators are able to grasp and deal with it effectively. And that's where effectively automation comes to help, since in order to address that challenge, using manual work is very heavy on OpEx costs.
And so when we move to Open RAN as a topic, how do the automation challenges change? And what is WIM Technologies' strategy for automation in Open RAN?
So Open RAN is certainly a very exciting topic for every operator and every RAN OSS vendor like ourselves, because it provides a lot more opportunity for additional solutions and indeed automation. However, the challenge we see with the introduction of Open Run is the increase of the level of complexity. Open Run is not just bringing a new run vendor into your network mix, but also bringing a new level of architecture. And although Open Run, with its open standards and standardized architecture, allows for greater level of run automation, it creates disaggregation with existing proprietary run, the proprietary run architecture and proprietary run vendors that an operator has. So what we see is an increase in this automation challenge by in operator's network, that one side will be Open Run, another will be proprietary run. And if the Open Run is it just looked in silos, then that will again increase cost, increase complexity of having the network looking for end-to-end network service assurance and customer experience. So what our focus is with Open Run is all our solutions which are focusing on their Open Run, such as our Unison service management and orchestration platform, is to be also compatible with proprietary run where possible. In the cases of configuration management, performance management, SON, closed loop automation, so that the operators can use a centralized platform for assuring closed loop automation, zero touch automation on the run, regardless if it's an Open Run or proprietary one, and thus help the operator to reduce their OpEx costs on OSS tools and systems.
Nik, thanks very much.
Thank you as well.